Hi everyone, it is Jessica, and I am very excited to be back here creating with you today. It has been a busy, crazy start to the school year, and I have not had any time to scrapbook lately. But I just got this picture from my daughter's school photos, and I was excited to go ahead and document it. And I thought it would be perfect to also use with my Hip Kit Club from August that I have not even had a chance to dig into yet. So I've already gone through all of the pattern papers that came with that last month's kit, and I pulled out a few that I love. Honestly, it's so hard to decide because even the back side of many of these papers I think would just work so well for the layout, but I've narrowed it down to these ones that I want to try to work into my layout. Now this is a 5x7 photo, and I don't know about everyone else, but sometimes when I'm working with those larger sizes, especially from like school pictures or sports team pictures, it can be a little hard to know how to scrapbook them. So what I did is I went through my Make It From Your Heart pattern books from close to my heart, and I found a bunch of double page layouts that featured a 5x7 on one of the pages. And I just kind of spent a little time looking at each of those layouts and, noticing like here, this is a cute little banner, and it does call for a lot of different papers layered up behind it, and that might work for the ones I pulled. But I'm really just kind of looking at that single side of the page that has the 5x7 photo on it, because I'm not going to be making a double page layout, and I've narrowed it down to I think these two, and I'm going to go with that middle one instead. Even though I think I like both of them, I really like how that one has a big square on the page, and I can pick one of my favorite pattern papers and really feature a lot of it on this layout. So I've gone ahead and cut my papers down. I'm going to end up matting my photo with a piece of white cardstock as well, just to make it pop a little bit more. And when I cut my papers, I actually cheated a little bit and didn't even cut them the full size as what that pattern called for, because a lot of this is going to get layered and hidden, and if I can save some of the really pretty paper, then I'm going to. So I cut some of these pieces a little bit smaller, just to knock out the parts that won't show. And I'm doing a little dry fit here just to make sure that everything is going to work okay and to see what my next steps might be. I'm liking the way this is looking so far, but right away I am noticing that I'm definitely going to need to do a little bit of edge distressing, especially on this white piece here, because it is really blending in with my base page. So I think I might also do a little bit of machine stitching up here along this top border and the bottom border. So I decided to use mostly some brown toffee colored ink and a foam brush just to give a softer look to that edge distressing along most of my papers. And so I'll get those edge distressed off camera. And then for the machine stitching, I thought it would be fun to do a zigzag stitch instead of just a regular straight stitch. So I'm going to show you here in a quick second what that looks like, and I like that. I'm going to add a second row above it, and then also some that will go beneath my photo as well. Now I wanted to pop my photo up, and one of the things that I like to do is I keep a bag of scrap white cardstock, and I just glue a whole bunch of it behind things that I want to pop up. So you can see that that was a piece even that I had done some die cutting with, but I think it ends up being about 4 layers of cardstock thick, just all from scrap pieces of paper. So we'll go ahead and glue that down to my page. I made sure to leave the edges around the photo without any glue, that way I can tuck some things underneath of them as I start going through these different embellishments that came with my kit. These are just the loose die cuts that are in there, and so I'm just kind of digging through the pile. This is my first time looking at them, and anything that I might want to use, I'm putting over into that little bowl, so that way I've kind of narrowed some things down. My kit also came with some cardboard stickers here, chipboard shapes, I guess I should say, and then also I have some of those puffy stickers. So I'm really loving the colors in this. this, and I think that they work really well with that background of the school photo because my daughter's got a black shirt on, and otherwise there's really not a whole lot of color to this photo, to draw inspiration from. So I think it's just kind of fun to use some of those turquoise things, and then, all the florals in that one pattern paper give me pinks and oranges and yellows and almost kind of like a peachy brown sort of color. So that's kind of what I was focusing on as I was going through all of my embellishment options. Now, I did cut a lot of this out because I spent what felt like forever, like trying things, moving stuff around. I just really couldn't get anything going that I was liking. It all felt awful to me. And then I realized that maybe it would help if I went ahead and put the title down first, and then I could build around the title. Once I did that, things definitely moved along a lot better. So my head got in the way for a lot of it. I apologize about this. So I kind of cut a bunch of it out, but I just used some of those puffy stickers and took the 2 words life documented, and I'm going to let that be my title. And then I went off camera and I die cut out a couple of circles in that toffee color cardstock, which is the same color that I had edge distressed my papers in. And because that floral paper was so busy, I thought it might help if I could put that circle down and use that to build up an embellishment cluster and just kind of give the embellishment a place to be seen so it didn't get lost in that busy pattern paper. I don't end up even going with this. Like I said, so much time kind of fussing with this and trying to figure out what I wanted to use. Even with that title there, that did help, but it still took me quite a while to figure out what I wanted to do with this page. I liked that one there. There were a lot of really fun like sentiment die cuts or chipboard shapes or puffy stickers, a lot of really fun ones. But at one point I felt like, okay, I've got, words in too many different places on my photo. So I started looking for just shapes and images instead. I don't know if I'm going to use this journaling tag at this point. I was trying to, but it just felt a little large up there and I couldn't find another good place for it. So I did decide to take one of those toffee colored circles and use it as a base layer for underneath my butterfly die cut, and I liked the way that that looked. My favorite way to glue butterflies down is to put some adhesive right in the center of the body and then put a tiny bit of foam tape behind the wings. That way the wings look like they are fluttering up off the page. And then I'm going to do something similar over here to the right hand side. I will tuck that other toffee circle in the bottom of the photo and then put that butterfly over top of it as well. So I did also edge distress or ink distress all of my toffee colored circles just so they matched the other paper before gluing them down. And so, like I said, I'll put this one over to the side. So I've got the 2 butterfly pieces figured out, but that top spot right there above the photo, that one really kind of gave me a lot of trouble, and I just could not figure out what I wanted to do with that. So I turned my attention again back to where the title was. I felt like when I glued my letters down, my title down, that I had left too much of a gap between life and documented. So I just found a fun little border stamp in my stash, and I stamped it in some dark brown ink along with some journal lines for underneath of the title. I don't have a whole lot to say, I'll just kind of document, my daughter and what grade she's in and maybe what her favorite classes are or something like that. There's not a whole lot to say yet at this point in the school year. It's just sort of for record keeping purposes. And then I realized what I wasn't loving in that top third point of my visual triangle is that my other 2 points had some of that orange peachy kind of brown color in them, and I didn't have anything like that color up there, and that was what it needed. So I had this little tiny sentiment strip, and then I went back to some of my other pieces and kind of tested a few of them out. Wasn't really liking anything until I came to this puffy sticker. Now it's actually supposed to be like a sun over top of some waves, but the waves are in that like brownish peachy color. And so I thought, what if I tuck it behind here in such a way that you can't see the sun, and instead I'm just kind of drawing on this circle with those fun little wavy lines on them. And I liked that. So I went ahead and cut off the sun part and then just stuck this down, layering it over my other partial circle there. And then I put that little orange sentiment strip over the top of it. For my final touch, I just turned to the little epoxy shapes that came in the kit. Some of them, they have like sparkles in them, so they're really fun. There are stars and hearts and little pennant banners and dots too. So I did a mixture of stars and hearts, and so I'm just going to scatter them around the title area, and then I'll put some up in the other two clusters as well. And that is going to be it. So like I said, I was really excited to get back in my scrapbooking room and create again. It feels like it has been a long stretch as we have gotten through the beginning of the school year. For those of you who don't know, I am a teacher, and so it is not only crazy with the kids, but it is crazy for myself as well, trying to like get into the routine of things and find time for crafting. So I think this will be it. I really was hoping to use more of those embellishments that came in my kit because they were so fun, and I kind of wanted to layer more of them, but it ended up being a fairly simple and clean layout, but I like it and I think it's cute, and it's always nice to get those school photos done, and especially right away, because otherwise sometimes I forget what year each picture is from. So as soon as my other two kids come home in their backpacks, I know I will be scrapbooking those right away as well. All right, thanks for being here with me. I hope you have enjoyed watching and you feel inspired for your own school 5x7 photos. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Happy crafting.